Welcome to the Blooming League of Original Podcasts.
G'day and welcome to another edition of Thrash and Treasure, the torture chamber musical comedy podcast where two ships don't so much as pass in the night as crash into each other's starboard musical taste. I'm Gareth, and joining me as always, the man who is the ever-given cargo ship to my Suez Canal, my co-host Aaron. How you going, mate?
Hang on, so I'm trying to think of a funny, witty response.
Yeah, the timing might be off a bit on this one.
Yeah, I know.
See, I was being topical.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good thing.
Oh.
I don't know. Hey, how you doing? That was really good. That was really funny. I've no comeback. I've literally woke up half an hour ago, so I don't even know if I'm here or what. But g'day to everyone. How you doing out there? And how you doing this week, Gareth?
I'm going really well.
Yeah, good. You're awake?
Well. I'm awake, yeah.
At least one of us is.
I wrote that while you were sleeping, as it turns out. So.
Oh, I love that movie. Good old Sandy Bullock. Don't we all want to fall in love with someone when they're asleep and they don't have to talk back to us?
That kind of sounds creepy.
Yeah, it does a bit, doesn't it? It was a bit of a creepy movie, but it's so romantic and sweet. I want someone to watch over me while I'm sleeping, and now I've said that out loud. No,
just not the dude. That was the episode, and this is awful that I even remember this. There was an episode of Friends where one of the dude's new roommate would literally sit there in the room watching him sleep.
Eddie, yes, he would.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Adam Goldberg, I think it was, who played him. That was when Joey became a big famous actor on Days of Our Lives. Well, not a big famous actor, but he, moved into his new apartment. So. I've had a bit of a strange week.
But you always do, but tell me.
Yes, no, I was doing some tidying up of just some old drawers and stuff like
your
that.
Your drawers?
And, boxing things away. Like a chest of drawers, not my underwear drawers.
Right, not into your drawers. Okay, yep. All right.
No, I wasn't rummaging around there. I haven't done that in a long time. Pre-COVID. But anyways, I found the strangest thing. You're going to laugh, I found an empty cigarette lighter wrapped up in a 20-year-old condom.
Okay, I know it's not a family show, but what?
Wrapped up in an elastic band. Right? So it's the condom around the lighter, the cigarette lighter, which is dead. Like, it's gone. It's as old as it's like when I picked it up, it felt, when rubber goes old, like elastic bands go old, and you can feel like this is really, really old. And I felt like the condom was just going to snap within the packet, right? Because it was so old and dried. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? What? Why is this stashed away in the back of my drawer where there's some, private things like photos and letters from people and stuff like that? Your naughty drawer or whatever.
Naughty drawer, okay.
And then I remembered, right? And probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was crying with laughter on my own. Because, all right, let's paint a picture at 17, 18-year-old me with a mohawk, all right? And tattoos and piercings and leather jacket and ripped jeans and tartan pants underneath the ripped jeans and me Doc Martens and all that, which I still have, ripped to shreds. Anyways, I was on I had picked up, let's just say, I picked up a guy, and we went into the shops, into the service station to buy condoms.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously, because, we want to be safe. And back then, like, this was the early 2000s, two young guys didn't really feel comfortable going in together to a shops to buy condoms. But anyways, and we were a little bit drunk and probably stoned at the time too, I have no doubt. Anyways, oh my God, I can't believe I can't believe I found this, and I cannot believe I'm bringing this up. I don't think I've told anybody this story in my life, okay? So this, not even my best friends, not Lara.
Oh wow, here's an exclusive. Another exclusive on Thrash and Treasure.
Nobody has ever heard this story. Right? It's so embarrassing. Anyway, so
Right,
we sort
rock,
of did a hammer, scissors, paper. Rock, scissors, paper if you're American. But I say hammer. Hammer, scissors, paper. That sounds better. That's rhythmic.
You're the only person who says hammer.
Rock, scissors, paper. That's not rhythmic. Hammer, scissors, paper. That's rhythmic. Okay? We settled that argument. Good. Aaron's right. Anyway, so we did that. I lost. I had to go in and ask for them. While he sort of lingered behind in the store behind me, because we didn't want to go up to the counter together. We didn't know if we were going to get gay bashed or what. You know, both of us had probably been. Well, I know I had. I can't say about him because he was pretty much a random stranger who I have never seen again in my life. Thankfully, after this incident, because I went up acting all cool, and you know, my mohawk was sort of half up, half down, so I sort of looked like I've had a good night. Acting, can I grab some cigarettes? Ordered them, and can I get a lighter as well? And can I get some condoms?
Just being casually. Oh yeah, while I'm buying all this other crap, just throw in a pack of condoms.
Yeah. So the service stations, that sort of thing, behind the counter. Anyways, and he grabs the cigarettes, and he turns to me and he goes, "What size did you want?" And I looked at him, mortified. And I'm like, small, average? Like, I don't know. I've never done this before. And he held up 2 cigarette lighters and he goes, "Do you want a big one or a small one?" Oh my God, fathers, what have I done?
Oh, that is gold.
Oh, shit. I was so embarrassed by that. I stood there and I just like, you mean that? Oh my God, fathers. And I found that condom with that lighter because I put one of them with the lighter as a keepsake to remember how embarrassing that was for this guy to be asking me, "What size lighter do you want?" And I'm thinking he's talking about what size my penis is. And that's what I answered. And I didn't want to seem like a wanker. I didn't want to be like, "Oh, extra large, man. Of course. Extra thick. What are you talking about? Just look at me. What do you think I need?" No, I'm not like that. I'm going to be a nerd about it and be all awkward and say the stupidest answer. So I'm like, small, average? Yeah, I found that lighter and that condom. It's now in the bin because I'm like, I don't need to keep that. I found the keepsake. I remembered the memory. I've now put it down for history for everyone to know what an absolute fucking loser I actually am in real life and a scatterbrain. And yeah, so that's the kind of friends you've got, Gareth.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That is that I wasn't expecting that.
How do you think I felt?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Was not expecting that. That's just fucking thrown me completely.
Next time someone says to you, "What size do you want?" that's the first thing that's going to come to your mind.
It really is, yeah. What size do you want? Yeah, next time I order a coffee, I'm just going to... Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, my, no. I can't believe I told that. That has to stay in the episode.
I think we need to leave that one in. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Nothing as embarrassing in the buying of the prophylactics has happened since then. I don't think.
I've raged against self-service checkouts at supermarkets since their inception. Except I really wish they had them when I was a younger man. And then I wouldn't have to do the same thing. You'd go into Coles and you'd just buy all this other shit and then a pack of condoms just because, it felt better if you were, if there was 3 Cos lettuce and a Mars bar. Yeah.
It felt better when you had someone with you. Full stop.
Yeah. I think it just used to walk through, turn bright red and just walk away. And back in those days, they didn't have a lot of guys on the checkouts either. So it was always girls, and it was the single most embarrassing thing ever. So
no,
kids these days have got it so easy. They can just go and swipe it through the self-serve one, and off they go. No one even knows. Oh, man, kids these days, they don't know how easy they have it. Anyway.
Yes, this week we had a very musical week.
It was a very musical week.
And you hopped into bed with the Pajama Game, I believe.
The Pajama Game.
That's the game we love.
The Pajama
and we
Game.
are proud to be in the Pajama Game. I love it. Da, 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 da.
Which is what you sang when you gave it to me, and I had no idea what you were singing.
Yeah, and now I'm sure it's an earworm.
There's a few earworms out of this one. Anyway. Okay, so I wrote something on this one for a change.
I nearly choked on my coffee.
Yeah, sometimes I scribble stuff down, but this time I actually wrote something. And
wow.
So I completely broke the rules. I did listen to the original Broadway cast recording, but as it was also adapted into a movie, I watched that. I found it and I watched it.
Oh, cool. I have it on DVD.
Oh.
What a nerd I am.
Nerd. Okay. So...
Doris Day.
Okay, I'm going to get to Doris Day later. Anyway, so I watched the movie and I've based all my review and opinions on the movie.
Okay.
Not the...
And they're pretty
much the same. They're, apart from, as you mentioned, Doris Day. So that was Janice Page played Babe Williams on Broadway, and for whatever reason, I don't know, the rest of the cast went over into the movie and she was replaced by Doris Day. And I didn't realise Janice Page, she's still alive. She's 98.
Oh, wow. Good for her. Speaking of, just to interrupt, a shout out to my my second cousin, Kay, who 101 years old, passed away about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And I just thought, while you're bringing up really, really old people, 98 years old, that to make it to 101 after COVID.
Yes, good for her.
Good for her. We met her, I think I met her twice. Obviously very, very old, but lives in Canada.
Okay.
So just good on you.
Good on you, Kay.
Or Auntie Kay, I don't know what I was meant to call you. I spoke on the phone to her a couple of times. But the thing is, even at 100 years old or 98, 99 years old, as soon as she found out that I had written novels, she bought them.
Hey.
I don't know if she read them.
That doesn't matter. Just give me the money.
No, it's not even that. It's what a beautiful gesture. Like
that is.
She could drop dead tomorrow, and yet she's still worried about buying my books. And she lasted 3 years, I think, extra. So
and she would have got the hardback too, I'm guessing, because at 100, she probably hasn't got a Kindle. I don't know.
I to be honest, I don't remember. Cause I think it was either just the first one or the first and the second one.
Okay.
But I felt too bad to call her up and say, "Hey, do you want to buy my third one as well?"
You know, there's a third.
Yeah, I feel really rude doing that.
Did she get a letter from the Queen when she turned 100?
I'm sure she would have. Yeah,
because apparently that's the thing in Commonwealth countries, and Canada's still part of the Commonwealth, eh?
It is.
So, yeah.
It is.
Anyway.
Yes.
So
back to the Pajama Game.
So Janice Page, not quite 101 yet, but 98 and still going. So, anyway.
Good for her.
So, it's billed as a love story / romance set in a pajama factory, hence the Pajama Game, because they're all in the Pajama Game. But there's actually a lot more to it. It's essentially a movie about a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. And honestly, I wanted to write it off straight away, as I did with the last 1950s musical you forced upon me. And to be honest, the first listen was a struggle for all those same reasons that I went over with Can, so I won't regurgitate them again. It's just that, that 50s musical sound that used to send me screaming from the house, during the Saturday matinees, and made me want to go outside and get some fresh air, and then get too much sun and get burnt. Anyway, but, I sit down and listen to it, and I watch the movie, and, much like the constipated accountant, I worked it out with a pencil. Sorry.
I figured it out.
That's the first thing, because that's actually that's my girlfriend's favourite joke. And as soon as I heard "figured it out" with a pencil and a paper, I just cracked up, and I thought I have to write something in there. So there it is. Anyway, mixed in with the Union propaganda, there's a few love stories. The first one, the main focus is between Babe and Sid, who's Babe's played by Doris Day in the movie, and it was Janice Page in the thing. And Sid's played by, I don't know.
John Wright.
Anyway, I just found this a bit creepy because Sid is like a lot of the guys in this movie. He's a fucking bully. First thing is he's just demanding shit from his subordinates, and he pushed this dude over, which I'm thinking, dude, that's instant dismissal. But it's, it's 1957 or whatever the hell it is, 54. Anyway, so he gets away with being a bit of a bully. But because he's a bit of a bully, he does come to the attention of Babe Williams, who's on the, the committee for, I can't remember what this committee was called. Committee for Grievances. She was on the grievance committee. So there's a whole bit. And yeah, he's just creepy and overbearing. And he basically like takes one look at her and decides, yep, you're going to be my girl. And, he essentially wears her down. So, and I don't know if I'm just being a little bit oversensitive because of the way arrogant men are and the way they're treating women at the moment. That could just be me.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might be a bit. But looking at 1954 or this, I think this movie came out at 57. It's just sort of a little bit. Yeah, guys, this is not right. Anyway, Babe gives in, and the romance blossoms while they're at the company picnic, which is the once in a year day. So they all, the boss gives them a thing. And that's where we find out about Vernon. Now, Vernon's a bit of a knife thrower, also drinks a lot. So Vernon, he has a romance with Gladys, and she is way out of his league, and he knows it. So he spends most of this movie jealous and paranoid. So Vernon's party trick is throwing knives. And after the quite scary sort of once a year day part at the picnic where he's throwing knives and pretty badly because he seemed a bit drunk. I think he was drunk. Anyway, this is where I went. The Vernon character is where I went, what the actual fuck? Because while they're trying to get a 7.5% pay rise. And Sid goes in, even though he's like the manager, he's a supervisor type thing. He goes in to bat for the staff, and he takes Gladys out and gets her on the booze because he wants to get the key to the safe so he can get the boss's ledger out, and so he can run the numbers and show the boss that he can actually afford the pay rise. Anyway, Vernon's wandering around. He sees Gladys out with Sid and loses his shit. Sid bails. All this shit goes on. And there's a scene where Vernon is literally stalking Gladys. They're in a storeroom sort of warehouse full of creepy mannequins because, much like clowns, all mannequins are creepy. Mm-hmm. And he's fucking throwing knives at her. And I'm going, wait a minute, what the hell? This dude, and I'm laughing now, but I was literally, I don't think I've ever been so stunned at, this happy-go-lucky musical, and it's all a little bit funny, and, it's but
very naive.
Yeah, very naive, because, and the times, but I'm thinking, this dude is literally throwing knives, and he ends up throwing knives, and one just misses the prez, which is the owner, who, because he's a self-obsessed dickwad, just decides that, the mafia's out to kill him and that he's been sent a hitman. I seriously, I was stunned that made it into the movie, because he went from Sid, for me, not Sid, Vernon went from goofy, kind of paranoid, jealous, bit of a dick, but nothing to worry about, into a stalky, knife throwing wannabe serial killer. So that was that I got triggered, man, big time. So anyway,
triggered by the Pajama Game.
And I keep looking at it going, it's the Pajama Game, and with a really creepy scene in a storeroom basement. And it's all a little bit silly, and in the end, Sid finds the money. He basically blackmails the boss to get, when they're at the unions holding a rally and they're all going on strike, and he blackmails the boss to give them their 7.5 cents pay rise. And there's a big song and dance to the finale, and at the end they're all in their pajamas and they're all, everyone's happy, and it's everyone all sort of
Everyone lives happily ever after.
Everyone lives happily ever after.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, and I have to say, I can't name another Doris Day movie, but
Calamity Jane, there's one.
okay, I haven't seen it. Janice Page absolutely runs rings around Doris Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think her performance on Broadway and against Doris Day is like, dude, she's all over it. So not sure why she got replaced. Anyway,
Oh, it happens.
what did I think?
Yeah, what did you think?
Look, again, it was a bit surprising because it was a serious story about inequality and 7.5 cents. What the hell is that? So that whole thing, that was quite serious. And then and they chucked in this a couple of love stories and it was all a bit silly. I don't know. Do you know what? I was going to give it more, but based on Vernon's fucking creepy, stalky knife throwing, it gets 2 stars.
But is that even in the stage version? I don't.
Well, that's why I said
remember
it. That's why I said at the start of this, I broke the rules, and
Well, that's not fair. You're punishing the Broadway version for the movie version. I can't.
no, because
remember.
yeah,
I saw a semi-staged version.
there is a yeah. So anyway, yeah, it gets 2 stars.
Oh, well, even
Yeah.
with some familiar songs in there, surely you know.
I don't know if I heard any familiar songs. To be
Dun
honest.
dun 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 dun. Hernando's Hideaway.
Hernando's Hideaway. See, I didn't.
That
know.
was turned into a pop song.
Oh, was it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, DeBella Morgan, I think her name was. Come and dance with me.
Oh.
Na, na.
Okay. That was a weird scene too.
And Steam Heat. You
No,
should know
I
that.
didn't know that song either, and that went on for too long. To be perfectly honest.
Ah. I would have thought you would have known at least one of the songs from being pop standards.
No, I did not.
Oh. 2 stars. I mean, I did expect you to hate it more. It sounded like you found it more intriguing because there was so much more to it than just a love story.
Oh, I did. And to be perfectly honest, if I hadn't watched the movie, I probably would have. I would have got there eventually. I think.
Yeah. It's a catchy song.
The 7.5 cents, which is the actual song.
7.5 cents doesn't buy a hell of a lot. Sorry. They're catchy. Can't help it.
Catchy songs. So, but no, it's just weird.
It's just weird.
I don't know. You put a knife throwing paranoid, dude with a drinking problem. Yeah,
I
that's a whole different.
vaguely remember the knife throwing from the production I saw.
It's
But not
Okay.
in the basement of the store.
Not in the basement.
At the carnival, I think it was.
that he was throwing knives at the carnival,
Yeah.
and Babe stood in front of the front of the board with an apple on her head and said, throw the knife. And he was,
That's right.
he'd had a few under his belt by then, so that was a little bit scary. But not sure why they decided to turn him into a weird stalky dude just throwing knives in the basement.
Yeah.
Because she gets told in Hernando's Hideaway, it's like Vernon's coming and he's got knives, and she's off a trolley and she goes, he's always got knives. And I'm thinking, this is not a good thing. Anyway.
So you kind of liked it, but it creeped you out with the knives. Oh.
Yeah. I just thought that's just wrong. Why would you put that in there? So, and and the music, because I don't like the music, because that kind of music, as I said, that just kind of grates.
What about I'll Never Be Jealous Again? That's a cute song.
Yeah,
I'll never be jealous. I'll never be jealous again. However it goes, I don't remember. I'm tired. And Her Is, that's cute.
okay.
Her is a kind of girl that drives a fella bats. Isn't her? Her is.
See, her is. It's no,
That's cute.
because it's not cute. It's very poor grammar, is what it is. So
Well, he's working in a... oh, no, I won't say that. My parents worked in factories their whole lives.
yeah, in a pajama factory. I think my mum might have done that once. But
Really?
anyway, with all their mad sewing skills? I think so. I'm going to ask her.
So when I saw this, I think it was 2007 or it might have been 2006. It was in a season. The production company here in Melbourne, they do semi-staged concert versions of musicals, and they often do ones that are a little bit rarer or haven't been done in 20, 30, 40 years. And this year they did 3 musicals that I hadn't seen and I hadn't heard. I didn't know anything about them. And I think this was the first one. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. It was silly. It was daggy. It was naive. But what I didn't like about it, and I know I'm not the only person who feels this way, is the first act is like an hour and 20 minutes long. And then act 2 is about 20 minutes long, 25 minutes long. So there's this...
Okay, yep.
It's really outbalanced. And I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was doing a show at the time when I saw it. So I had been at a late rehearsal the night. I think I'd been at a tech rehearsal the night before. So I was ruined. I was absolutely ruined. And about an hour into the first act, I started drifting off to sleep.
Oh, see, I understand that entirely. Yep, completely.
But not actually falling asleep, but just sort of that thing where your head starts falling forward, you fall asleep, and then you wake up and you suddenly jolt yourself awake. I kept doing that. And it was for that, I think it was for that, because of that reason. It was because that first act is so incredibly long that you're sitting through it and you're antsy to get up and have a bit of a break. But then you come in for act 2 and it's over before you know it.
Okay. Yep.
So, that's the only complaint I had, really.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the movie was a little bit like that too. It did spend a long time kind of setting things up, and it's a musical, so they've got to sing all the songs. And then when it sort of came to the crunch, it all happened very quickly. So yeah, that was a little bit. But
look, that's very much where musicals have gone, right? That now they can set up the whole story, everything a character wants and is within one song, within one opening song, and then the story can go on. We're not wasting an hour on introducing everybody and who they are.
Yes.
You know, that's musicals have learned to do that really well, I think, over the years, to sort of knock out that initial exposition. This is who I am, this is what I want. I'm waiting for my life to begin, and once I sing this song, my life's going to start.
Yes, because, anyway, we should move on.
We should move on because... clearly, you didn't have reverence for the Pajama Game.
No, reverence. But I'm guessing you had great reverence for the next one.
Yes, you gave me an album this week.
Let me. Tell me about it.
You gave me Park Drive Way's Reverence. Reverence.
Park. You meant Parkway Drive. Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever.
Yes, you. Potato.
Yeah, so you gave me... And these are an Australian band.
They are possibly one of the biggest heavy Australian bands currently. So anyway...
Yeah, would you like to hear my review?
I wanted to hear this review from the moment I set you the album.
Well, you've never said that before. You haven't. Usually, I don't care.
Normally, I don't care, but no.
I don't want to hear what you got to say, Aaron. I don't fucking care. I'm going to hear it anyway. Just tell it to me. I don't care.
That's what I have to put up with every week.
Sorry. Yeah. Wow. Your impressions of me are terrible.
Well, that was technically my impersonation of my mum.
Oh, great. Okay. Not sure how to take that one, but anyway.
With a grain of salt. Okay.
Anyway.
When I first saw whatever. So I pressed play on the vinyl, but Wishing Wells had me wishing for a different album. The next song, Pray, is wrongly spelled with an E. That's not how I pray for a different album. But thankfully, Absolute Power was a nice change, as this time I longed for just that, absolute power to change the album. The next track turned all Da Vinci Code on me, and with a name like Cemetery Bloom, it left me jealous. Sadly, however, it didn't leave me for a different album. Jokes aside, I didn't hate this moody track, but seriously, Cheer Up Emo Kids. Which, hang on, I need to put my camera on quickly.
Oh,
Hang on.
okay. This is an audio podcast, so it's,
I know. This is for you, not for them.
Okay.
Hang on. Can you see me?
I can see you. Cheer up, emo kid, says Aaron's t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm wearing a Caligula's horse t-shirt, but anyway.
Oh, are you?
Yay.
Oh, they
Cheer
need
up,
to
emo
cheer
kid.
up emo kids too. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
Shout out to Caligula's horse. I nearly called him Caligula Grey, but that's Jim Grey.
It is.
Okay, I'm turning that
Anyway.
camera off. Anyways. where was
Parkway
I?
need to cheer up. Yep. This is in what?
The Void.
Cemetery Bloom. Yeah.
The Void, however, is exactly where I wish I was. Away from this album, with a different one. Wait, as the chorus hits, have I heard this song before? Or am I just slowly going insane from all this devil music? Probably the latter. Anyway, I'm hungry. What was I saying? Alright. Why didn't you pick a different album, Gareth?
Oh.
My Panadol budget has tripled, you fuzzy-headed football. I Hope You Rot is the next track, which is funny because I hope you pick a different album next time. Turn the page. Shadow Boxer was another gloomy song, lyrically and musically, but also has an erroneous name, for I would prefer to be unboxing a different album. The thump 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 of In Blood was inviting, but unfortunately it means that there isn't a different album in Spotify. Chronos was next, as in chronological, as in time period, or time itself, or time to pick a new album, period. But then we arrive at the finale, the aptly named The Color of Leaving. Color me impressed. A title of a metal song actually fit its placement on an album? Wow. But unsurprisingly, that is the only positive impression that I had from this album, which ultimately, as a whole, left me wondering why you chose this one and not a different album. Do you not want to win? The songs often confused me, feeling like they couldn't commit to either clean nor unclean singing, and too often the rackety growls clashed with some genuinely melodic moments in the music. Sadly, this wasn't enough to leave me with any sort of reverence for Park Drive Way, except perhaps for the cover, which uses a painting by 16th century Flemish Baroque artiste Peter Paul Rubens, not to be confused with 20th century American artiste Peter Paul and Mary.
Ah.
I'll give them 1 star.
Oh.
Plus an extra half a star if they promise not to punch me for that review. Punch Gareth. He's the one who gave it to me.
I gave it to you.
He's the pariah. He's punchable.
This is... Now, I gave you this because this
You hate me.
is probably if you're not a metalcore fan, this is Parkway Drive's probably their most accessible album if you're
Okay.
outside the metalcore genre. And Winston McCall, who's the vocalist, there's more clean vocals in this than he's ever done before.
But it felt like they couldn't decide whether or not they wanted to go in and out of it, or it was just such a strange blend. It really was.
Yeah, they kept... Look, I love this.
Oh, good. I'm glad you do.
When I heard this in 2018, and I was not a huge Parkway fan, when I heard this, I listened to it, and it was one of those, there's a few albums that have done this to me, and I put it on, and I put my headphones on, and I listened to it start to finish, and I took a breath, and I started again, because it was just, I just thought it was so fucking good. So
I can see why you think it's good, but again, like we've talked about before, there is this disconnect when it's all rah, 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 rah. And it's not like musical theatre where, like in Jesus Christ, it's got the "This Jesus must die." You got the real deep singing, the real deep bass, but or whatever it is, I've fucking forgotten. But it's not it's you can hear what they're saying. It's not indecipherable. Or,
Well, yeah,
oh God, I'm forgetting everything.
it's
All the words.
yeah. Again, the unclean vocals, you need to sort of tune your ear to it to understand it. To be honest, so yeah, I thought you might like Pray because I do. I think it is a great sing along bit in Pray, and it's a real bit of a foot stomper. But anyway,
Is that the one that I commented that sounds familiar? No, that was The Void. Where have I heard The Void?
I don't know. Maybe in Vikings because it's got a kind of the Vikings. Anyway.
No, I
the
haven't
show.
watched that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
The Void is, and I'm going to say this and you're going to say no it's not, but it has got a little bit of a stadium rock.
Yeah,
feel to
it is a
Kind of
stadium anthem. That's
yeah,
why it felt
so
so
bit of-
familiar.
which is very Parkway Drive because they're not really a sing along kind of band.
Oh, what a shame.
Oh dear.
Might be breaking them out around the campfire with the ukulele, I'm guessing.
Yeah, not a lot of ukulele in that one.
I'm glad to see they're successful. Like,
They are.
I
Yeah.
was rapt for that. Because it's always they're Australian bands, and you got to support them. And when a lot of times when Americans hear I'm from Australia, the first thing they say is, "Oh, like AC/DC."
Yeah, that's so
It's like,
boring.
well, no, I think they were born in England actually, but yes,
Yep.
or Scotland. Bon Scott was born in Scotland, wasn't he?
He was. And
Or is
Yeah.
it just that his name's Scott?
no. Ronald Belford Scott. So yeah, he was born in Scotland and buried in Fremantle.
Yes.
So there we go. Which pre-COVID was a pilgrimage that many hard rock and heavy metal fans would take when they came to Western Australia, and they'd go and see his grave and pay respects, and then hang out at his statue and get their photo taken. So
Yeah. No, I'm not the type to do that. I would for Buddy Holly.
yeah, okay. Where's he buried?
Born in Lubbock, died in Iowa, Clear Lake. That was their last gig, the Winter Dance Party. Anyways,
We
Well,
should ask one of our future guests about that.
yes, we should ask. We might perhaps have somebody coming up who has maybe played Buddy Holly
Yeah.
professionally, and maybe inspired one of us to chase after everything they've accomplished in life. Let's just say that. So, who knows? One of us may have a childhood hero come onto our show very soon. We don't know anything yet.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, I was glad to see their like successes and stuff.
yeah. This look,
and I've
my-
heard of them. But
Yeah.
had heard them.
yeah, heard them.
Not
yeah.
not really
is
my thing.
This is my slow introduction for you into metalcore, and there's a few more to come up.
Oh, is
So,
there?
Yeah.
What does metalcore mean? Could you explain that to all the Team Musical
The
members
team musical.
and all the troglodytes out there who
good.
don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck does metalcore mean?
So it's a combination of clearly hardcore and metal. So
Really?
Yeah. So it's the hardcore style vocals, and that musically it's different to heavy metal as well. But it's the hardcore style vocals mixed with traditional metal, thrash metal kind of music. So it's more it's if you've got those unclean vocals, then you with the down-tuned guitars and the breakdowns and that sort of thing, then you fit squarely in the metalcore. And I could tell you, Perth's metalcore scene and Australia's metalcore scene is huge. And I'm not a huge fan. I'm very selective
it?
on my metalcore. But you go to a metalcore gig in Perth and it'll be packed. The kids love it. Kids love it.
Isn't Death and Bloom metalcore? Wouldn't they be?
Yes, they are. Yep.
And Thank you very
And-
much, guys, for the theme, but also Brave
Thank you.
Today, wouldn't they also?
Brave Today definitely fit in the middle core.
Wow, I've learned
Yeah.
something, and then I've exercised my knowledge in a sentence. I would like to hear Winston McCall, if that is in fact his real name, do some training, and like I'm going to say about Jim Gray in episode 27, and you're going to be all offended and like, blah, 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 but me and the guest are going to be like, now hang on a second, mister. We know what we're talking about here. They are different styles of singing. So if he was to get some classical training, or not necessarily classical singing training, but you know what I mean, like some traditional training, he might have a really fucking fantastic voice underneath all that growl and that grime and that grit. But I don't know, because I as I say, I didn't go in and out. It didn't stay there long enough for me to be able to go, I can place him here, or I can hear him doing this show, or I could hear him even doing this cover or this style, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There wasn't enough for me to latch onto and get a good grasp of what he probably could have. So I can see that there's potential there. I just don't know what potential there is.
Almost certain Winston's pretty happy doing what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not telling him to stop. Well, actually, no, I am telling him to stop.
Yeah, stop with it. And as I said, he's put more clean vocals in this than any other Parkway album. So it surprised me. Yeah, and it always surprises me when these guys and girls sing clean, and I go, wow.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing voice. Also, I can't sing unclean. I've never tried. I have tried to, and I'd need to be. It's a whole different way, and it's not my thing anyway. So, yeah. But I always have respect for the guys that can do this and keep going. So,
well, from what I've heard, you can't sing clean either. No, I'm kidding. It's me who's
boom tish. I really need a rim shot button.
God, it's been a long while since I've had one of those.
There it is. I really didn't want to use the term, but what else is there?
But tish. Or
All right. So
a drum snare.
A drum snare. Yeah. Anyway, I've forgotten. What did you end up giving?
1.5.
Parkway Drive Reverence 1.5, which is
I gave them a 1, but a half a star if they promise not to punch me.
Yeah.
They don't need that on their conscience.
No, I don't think they're not fighters. Although Winston looks like a bit of a tough guy.
Does he?
I don't know. Yeah, he's a big guy. Lots of tattoos, I think. So,
yeah, but as I said, I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I've got some stuff coming up that you're going to hate, but yeah, this.
I didn't hate it. I didn't know where it fits.
Yeah, okay.
Or at least I can't find, like, a lot of what we've listed, like Stuck Mojo. I know where that fits.
Yeah, you told us where to fit it. So
I did. I made that very known. But you know what I mean. Like, but I could see where that has its place within the genre, or it even in the music, even though it was awful. Yeah, no, I felt like I was in a boat and it's rocking from side to side. I couldn't decide whether or not it wanted to stay on the left side or stay on the right side, so it just keeps rocking back and forth. And meanwhile, I just got seasick.
Yeah. Okay.
Park Driveway made me seasick.
On the Parkway
No,
Drive.
I'm kidding. I didn't vomit.
But it wouldn't be the first time. No. Okay. Anyway, there.
Yeah, no, I felt indecisive. Yeah. It was me at the video shop trying to decide what to rent.
Okay.
Do you remember those good old days when you'd spend an hour and a half in there trying to decide? And be like, dude, we just lost our fucking time.
All right. Okay. Didn't have no reverence for Parkway Drive.
No, I didn't have reverence for this album, sorry. I didn't hate it, but I've liked others more, I think. And you totally missed my Peter Paul Rubens joke.
Peter Paul and Mary. No, I got it. I just didn't laugh.
I was funny, though.
Okay.
I thought it was funny. I wrote that this morning and had a giggle.
Okay, I just thought it was obvious. I could see it. You telegraphed that one for a while. But anyway, on that note, we should wrap things up.
We should wrap it up in a neat little package.
A neat little package. And I just want to say to the people out there, don't forget to rate and review us. Leave a comment on whether it's Apple Podcasts or it's your Android podcast or whatever podcast you use. If there's a spot to rate and review us, give us 5 stars, leave a comment. It's how people find us. Also, you can check out Thrash and Treasure at Thrash and Treasure on Twitter, which is just about 100% Aaron. I will not be held responsible for that Twitter account. Like our Facebook page, it is facebook.com/Thrash and Treasure. There's lots of fun going on there. We've also got at Thrash and Treasure on the Instas. So we've got everything covered. Almost. I'm at Not Gareth on the Twitters. Come and say hi. Tell me what you love. Tell me what you hate. Check out the Tonniston Tales. Google Tonniston Tales. Go to Tonniston Tales. What is it? TonnistonTales.com?
Yeah, that'd be good. TheTonnistontales.com.
TonnistonTales.com. And buy the books. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
It's a trilogy.
Well, technically there's 4 because there's the 3 standalone novels, and then there's the 4th edition, which is all 3 in 1.
Ah.
And I did change a few things and added a few things, and
Here's one thing.
mixed it up a little bit for people who get that version. Actually, my nephew that I've been raising, one of the people at his school found out that one of the teachers or office ladies found out that I wrote a book, and she bought a copy of the first one.
Okay.
And sort of went into the classroom and was like, "Oh, did you hear that I'm not going to say his name,
Don't
but
say his name. Yep.
his uncle has written a novel." So the teacher then asked, "Can they read it to the class?" And they did. That was all fine. And then the next year, she brought a copy of book 2.
Mm-hmm.
And just yesterday, I got asked if she could buy a copy of book 3.
Hey.
And could I take it down to her?
Wow.
I've never met her.
Okay.
I've never met her, and I did say all along, I would rather go down when she's finished and find out what she thought, as opposed to going down halfway through. Does that make sense? Because I don't know her personally, and I probably seem very rude because I haven't gone down and said thank you or anything like that. But that's sort of why I was waiting, because with people who do read, especially the first 2, have a lot of questions for me about what's coming next and stuff like that, and I prefer to avoid those.
Yeah. This way you just read the book and there's no more questions.
Exactly. Don't waste time. Just read the books.
read the book.
But so I am very, very, very grateful to her. Her name's Wendy. She was the first person who I had never met myself. Like I don't know her at all, but she bought a copy of my book, so I guess that's my first fan. I don't know. No, it's not. She's just a lady at the school. But no, I'm very, very grateful. So I will get that down to her. But we need to swap albums.
We do.
We do.
Okay.
Next week we have a guest on. We have joining us from the Australian company of Come From Away, Mr. Doug Hansel, who you may remember from episode 15, where both Steffi and I embarrassed ourselves about him. Well, that apparently got his attention, and now he's going to be on our show next week. So God help us all.
Doug Hansel. Yeah.
Yes. So we'll be doing Titanic the musical, which he had done at the Charing Cross Theatre in London.
And he's listening to the self-titled masterpiece, Lamb of God. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I've got a ship in an iceberg. You've got Lamb of the Gods, and that would be it, I think. I've been Gareth. That's been Aaron. You at home. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Stay safe and see you next time.
Hooroo. Awesome.
Like quicksand!